We are back here again. Oh, hello. Tell us who we are, Sharon. People are out there already going, who are these two people?
We are Craig and Sharon Butts,
Mm-hmm.
or Aymar and Zare, and we are taking the journey together. Together. Where are we going together today?
But today we're going to go and get some hot chocolate or some coffee because it's cold.
Hot chocolate. That sounds wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Hot anything. It is too cold. I kept telling the kids we moved away
Mm-hmm.
so that we wouldn't have to deal with this. And now I'm thinking we didn't go far enough south.
No, no. It is like, cold. It is definitely cold. Yeah. Wow.
Yes. Q was saying that her son
Mhm.
sends her pictures every day of him on the beach.
Oh, because where's he at
He's
to do that?
in Miami.
Oh,
Yeah.
welcome to Miami.
Yeah.
What's the weather down in Miami? You wonder?
Nice. I don't know, but
Mm,
it's obviously nice. She said he and his girlfriend take their laptops and because they started teaching this year,
mm.
and they go down to the beach every day and work. I'm like,
Wow. What a
thank you for letting me know that as it's getting colder and colder
mm-hmm,
here.
mm-hmm. Definitely, definitely, definitely.
Yes, but I guess that's where their compatibility comes in. We're talking about compatibility today. Still, this
We
is the
are?
fourth time around for compatibility. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so we are very compatible in that we know that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm kind of distracted
I know.
because I'm trying to get our usual message up to all the different
Places that
Facebook
need to
places.
know.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and the computer's running kind of slow, so when people see me looking up in the air, that's the reason why. But anyway, go share it with your friends, share it with your neighbors, share it with your enemies, share it with your girlfriend, boyfriend, or whoever you have on the side. Share it today. We got some good stuff that we're talking about. We're
Yeah,
still in the area of compatibility, don't we?
exactly. And because you need to do all that sharing,
Uh
well, why? Because we are going to relate.
huh. Okay.
It doesn't matter what a mother, father, sister, brother, anybody says, we are going to relate. But in taking the journey together, we believe in guiding people to relate in a balanced way. And
Mm-hmm.
what we mean by balanced is people always believe that they can marry their friend and not their lover, or they can marry their lover and not their friend. But what we believe is that you need to find that friend and build a relationship until you are at the point where you are marrying your friend and your lover all
Mm-hmm.
in one person. And that is a balanced relationship.
Exactly. So, um, somebody asked a question. I mean, I'm going to talk about. Someone asked a question about is the difference between a friend and a lover. Um, um, how can I say it? Very opposite from one another, different from one another. And if so, doesn't it make it hard? Would it make it hard to be able to operate that way in a relationship? That's what somebody was asking me. I'm not saying who it was, but someone was asking me that. Since we, talk about we're trying to bring a balance between the lover and a friend. So, like, is there a difference between the two since you say one and then say the other? What do you think?
I think there is definitely a difference as far as most people are concerned. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
very important to have the same person be feel both of those shoes
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in a relationship, because you want to just be able to be with somebody and just act silly sometime, and they act silly back with you,
Mm-hmm.
and not have any problems going on. You know, if I reach over and I
Mm-hmm.
just grab you and hug you like this,
I don't know you like that.
I would
You need to ask first. This is my space.
no.
This
We are friends.
is my
We are
space.
friends and lovers. So
Muhammad Ali. So this is my
your space
space.
is my space. So
Okay. No, but anyway, you were saying.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, what I'm saying is,
Mm-hmm.
if I would not give the same kind of hug necessarily
Mm-hmm.
to my friend that I would give to my lover, because we relate on a different level.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's all the same person, I may give a certain hug to my friend, and then it goes on to where okay, this is a different type of level for the hug.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and it's okay. I don't have any reason to shy away or
Mm-hmm.
move back because we're on that level where it's okay. We're friends and lovers, so we don't have those boundaries. I
Mm-hmm.
think people put boundaries in when this is my friend, this is my lover.
Mm-hmm.
We can sleep together and have all that fun and do all that other stuff
Mm-hmm.
together, but you friend, what we're going to do, we'll go out to dinner, we'll go to movies together,
Mm-hmm.
we'll talk and shoot the breeze and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but we're not going to get into that intimate stuff.
Okay. So again, that's the reason why they were bringing up how do you incorporate that in a relationship? Say hello to my little friend. So I mean, think about it. How do you incorporate that in the relationship? When many times we know traditionally it's very separate from one another,
Yeah.
and really not the same. Do you think it was a trick question when they asked that? Because I mean I didn't think it was. I
I
just think that they were very curious
Mhm.
and have lived mostly in the world, or people
Yeah.
that treat them as being two
Separate.
separate
Yeah.
things,
Mhm.
and have the boundaries around them, and you don't necessarily cross them
Yeah.
or whatsoever, especially when it gets to the intimate relationship or a marriage relationship.
Right.
Intimate relationship, you don't cross that over
Right.
whatsoever, and so that was just something that was brought up. I was wondering how you kind of felt about
Yeah. I don't think you asked me if I thought that was a setup question. I don't think so.
it.
I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of people really don't understand that
Mm-hmm.
friendship and relation and lovership
Mm-hmm.
being in the same situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I get this a lot. At
Oh, you do, Professor Willie Walker?
I do. Because
Okay.
and I say that because the kids will say stuff to me that they wouldn't say to their parents, or to yes, I'm being very hot right now.
Bam. Let's put it over. She's being very
Hot.
what? Put it like this.
Yes.
Okay.
And so
And later on, you need to tell us about this button too, by the way.
I
since
definitely will.
We're bringing it up right here. It's
I'll
a
see
hot
you.
button.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do
Yep.
that a
Yep.
whole lot better than me because you have more
You-
stretch.
Yeah, I just got a longer
Yes.
arm. That's all.
But the kids are always dealing with boyfriend girlfriend issues,
Mhm.
and and I tell them, I said, well, that person that you're dating, is that your friend?
Mhm.
Is that somebody you can talk to about anything and get a good
And
understanding?
get away with it. Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes they go, well, no, I
No,
wouldn't.
I don't know.
I'm like, then that's not the person that you want to be in a long term relationship with until you figure out why you're not
Mhm.
friends. If that's not your friend, while you're building
Mm.
and while you're talking about, being intimate with this person.
What everything you're referring to that they're talking about has a lot to do with our particular topic that we're
Mhm.
talking about, compatibility.
Exactly.
Because you're trying to refer to speak about characteristics of a lover,
Mhm.
characteristics of a friend. I'll get it out there, folks.
Characteristics,
Exactly, those big
easy for us
words.
to say. Together we will get that said.
Exactly. So
Yes.
both those characteristics are not, I would say notoriously, what do you mean, one of the words, together,
Right.
and operating together. Especially in a lot of communities, you don't see that
Mhm.
operating that way. You see the one or the other.
Yeah.
I think the point that I was using, it might be a trick question then, is because in unity, in in unity, but separated, no, in unity and connecting to taking the journey together,
Mhm.
that togetherness that we refer to, or how that can be operated, is by that thing called a balance.
Right.
So you have to balance both of those energies, both of those entities, both of those elements, both of those
Mhm.
characteristics. You have to learn how to balance both
Yeah.
of those
Yeah.
between a lover and a friend,
Mhm.
which is what taking the journey is all about.
Yeah.
Being able to balance that kind of relationship that traditionally is not something that's presented most of the time in a relationship. So you have to ask yourself, just like this person that asked me this, I didn't have a chance to get back to them and said, well, then you have to learn how to be able to balance. And of course, I did refer them to our program called Taking the Journey, because we talk about a balance. Compatibility is one of the elements we're talking about right now.
Right.
That has to be, or can be, a measuring device of being able to see how easier it is to balance between one another, because you have some commonality
Right.
that you're both compatible with
Mhm.
whatsoever. Not whatsoever, but within the structure of your relationship.
Yeah.
Some people have a problem with being a lover in a relationship, that they're used to seeing that if I get into a committed relationship, long-term relationship, I don't know how to be a lover. I may have known a little bit about it when I was outside of a
Mhm.
long-term committed relationship, or books I read it, seen on the TV, or just felt that's what it should
Yeah.
be. But if I get into a long-term relationship, a committed relationship, or a marriage relationship, ooh, you don't do that lover thing. Sometimes you even heard that if you do that, then you are a fast girl, because that nice girl
Oh
ain't
yeah.
supposed to be no fast girl. Oh, I said that good. That nice gal ain't supposed to be no fast gal.
Right, right.
So she basically is like, nah,
Mhm.
I'm not going to do that shucky ducky with you.
Oh.
Because exactly,
Ooh,
exactly, I'm not going to do
yeah.
that
Yeah.
from that particular
No.
end. So, and you hear some guys who are basically, have did the shucky ducky with her, somebody else, but when it came to taking that girl home to mom, she's that good girl, and I'm not even going to think about at least saying that
Mhm.
to mom or my friends.
Yeah.
Though during the lights out and the bedtime later on, it's like, girl, can't you just kind of be a little bit more freaky?
Yeah.
I mean, things like that does happen. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I feel is one of the issues that
Hmm.
we have when we're growing up.
Hey, look, it's
Nobody.
back again.
Ah.
Mike Kelly, how you doing, Mike? Good to see you. Yeah, good to
Yeah.
see you. I know we've been off a couple of times, and also at the same time we've been dodging the bullets of the storm and all this stuff. But we're good to see you back again. Yeah.
Yes. But we are never told
Mhm.
about being a friend. We're told, well, you're old enough to get married now, so you
Mhm.
ought to be looking for somebody to get married.
Mhm.
You look for somebody that's got a job that can help with the bills and things. And this is
Mhm.
on the male and the female side anymore.
Mhm.
You look for somebody who's got some sense, and you look for all of these different supposed qualities in people.
Mhm.
But where is the quality that is friendship?
Mhm. Mhm.
Where is the quality of compatibility, where we do things together and we enjoy things together? I mean, from
Mhm.
from
We're
the
able to
very
resolve conflicts together.
exactly,
What we talk about.
exactly. Actually, you are the. I thought I'd had friendships with
Mhm.
males in the past.
Mhm.
I thought my ex was a friend.
You've been married before?
Never.
Oh wow.
Oh, I just told on myself. Yeah. But anyway,
30 years too at that, wasn't you?
yeah.
It was. Well, you were someone for 30 years and you didn't even figure out your friends.
Um,
Or you started out as
and
friends, I think you said.
here's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we were friends.
Ah, it was a one-way thing.
Yes.
Yeah, that does happen.
I
One-way
thought we were
relationships,
friends.
codependent relationships, they
Uh-huh.
call
Yeah. And I never and it didn't dawn on me
them. Mm-hmm.
that I had never heard him call us friends until we were about until I had left.
Oh wow.
And he called me his best friend. I'm like, we need to look up a definition of best friend
Mm. Mm.
and friend also.
Mm-hmm.
But and that's the thing. We're not told or taught or shown or given examples of how to be friends with someone of another gender,
Yes. Yeah.
unless we are
Well,
just
well, well,
hangout buddies.
exactly. Well, we're not taught or presented much when it comes to in that a long-term relationship called marriage and
Right.
all that other good stuff. It's
Friendship,
it's usually just not pushed that.
yeah,
Most time it's like, no, you don't do
yeah.
that.
And friendship is not important.
Mm-hmm.
Paying the bills, living the American dream,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Having kids.
having kids,
Mm-hmm.
things, status things are more important
Your
than
job.
friendship. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
more important than friendship in that relationship. However, from what I have seen, the
Mm-hmm.
marriages that really last, the marriages that are really strong,
Mm-hmm.
are the marriages where the couple are friends,
Mm-hmm.
where they can talk to each other about things. Well, you see them at restaurants and things, and they're just laughing and talking with one another like they just met.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Whereas,
The other ones are on the phone, looking at the phones.
yeah,
Hey, don't we do that sometimes? No, I'm just joking.
okay, Mister, I live on my phone. But for your defense, you are
Whoa,
always
that's that
handling
what that
business.
is.
Yeah, but you're always handling business.
Okay.
That's the thing. So
That was funny.
yeah. But see, I wasn't gonna say anything till you brought it up. But we are being hot today.
Hey,
So
where can we get that button, by the way?
you can get this button by um emailing us.
Looking at the bottom
Yes,
right
it's
there.
at the scrolling
$5.
across the bottom. It's only
$5.
$5. You can go to takingthejourney-together.com and let us know you want not one, but two.
Yeah. In fact, if you have seen this show more than once, you email us. Let us know. We'll send you out a button free of charge.
Yeah, it's
Just
sizzling.
if you've seen it more than 4 times. 4 times.
Sizzling.
And we'll find out if you have too, by the way.
Yes, because we can check.
Exactly.
Ooh.
If not, $5 goes to a good donation to this show because we know we're giving you good information. We know we're giving you good knowledge. We know we're giving you good food for thought when it comes to your relationship. If not, you can always put it in a deep freezer. Later on, take it out because you know you're going to.
And guess what?
What's that?
These buttons are $5 each.
Mm-hmm.
But for you tonight, just for tonight,
Oh, wow. What's going on here?
2 for $9.
2 for $9?
2 for $9.
Okay, twofer.
Twofer.
That's
Twofer.
That's a twofer.
Twofer. This is a twofer
Okay.
because you need one, your partner needs
Oh,
one,
yeah.
and so 2 for $5, 2 for $9.
Wow.
I
Well,
said
so that
wrong.
means if you email us, you got to put there. I'm on a twofer.
Yes.
So what does hot mean, by the way? Since we're
Oh, I was
pushing
getting ready to
up
go. I was getting ready to go one more.
okay.
But if you're in poly and you need more than 2, let us know. We'll cut a deal for you too.
We don't talk much about folly, but I understand that. That's a good one. So tell us what hot means.
Hot means honest, open, and transparent.
Mhm.
And if you're going to be a friend in your relationship, you're going to need to be hot,
Yes.
which is a problem that I have.
Well,
If
not
I'm going to
the-
be hot.
not the hot one. This is a transparent one. I mean,
Well, yeah.
balancing, which is all about balance. That foundation of hot, of
Mhm,
honest,
yeah.
open, and transparency is what usually friends
Yeah.
do. But I should say, on top of that, balancing all that
Mhm.
is what we're referring
Right.
to. It takes energy, it takes work, it takes the real wanting to share.
Yeah.
And usually a true friend is a person that wants to do that
Yes.
in a connection,
Yes.
in a relationship. And of course, the other person extends that together back in turn. And that's where you have that us.
Mhm.
So with that, then there is going to be that times of ebb and flow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It does happen. And sometimes when that ebb and flow, someone flows more than the other one ebbs from that end. But that's part of taking the journey in the
Yeah.
relationship. That's the adventure part. If you want to look at your relationship as part of adventure.
Exactly.
What was that all about?
Oh, nothing.
What was you looking at? Did something fall in the studio that you had to look that way? I mean, that was kind of funny.
No,
What was it? Then why did you do that?
I heard something and
Oh,
it was like a reflex.
oh, okay,
So-
okay. Well, you must be hearing spirits in your mind then, 'cause I don't know what that was, and I'm sitting right here too at the same time. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're talking about compatibility. Hope out there, maybe somebody has some questions that they have when it comes to compatibility or their experiences with compatibility
Yeah.
in their relationship. Go ahead, put it up there. There's no dumb question. There's no right question, no wrong question. We'll be glad to take it and kind of talk to you about it. Being that we're supposed to be what you call so-called relationship, what? Coaches? Yeah, exactly.
Coaches.
So we're hoping to coach you in a direction
I
where
don't know.
the relationship is more balanced and more, how can I say it, thriving.
Yes.
But you said,
and
what is
healthy.
it? Yeah, of course. What are you saying? You don't know what?
I said, I don't know why I couldn't get that word to come out of my mouth.
What was that?
Coaches.
I don't know how slides
I'm
are
sitting there
there.
going, and yeah, anyway,
I
wasn't
saw you
working.
did. Okay.
Yes.
So let's go to, we give each other space. We give each
Yes.
other space. Now you are more better than giving space.
Yes.
Because many a times, not getting too deep, many times when we're in bed, you'd like to have your space.
Yes.
And you stay on your space. And sometimes I feel I'm chasing you, but you're still staying
Yeah.
in your space.
Okay.
From that end.
And see, I got a real good reason for that. I have had a sciatic nerve problem since before I knew you.
Yeah, but you have always been somewhat
I know.
a
Be-
recluse. Is that what's called?
No, I've never been a recluse.
But what?
I've
That's what
been-
you said you was.
No, I said I was an introvert.
Oh, introvert. Okay.
then
so
I
you've been to
realized-
yourself
yeah.
a lot.
But then I
Mm.
realized that I was not really an introvert.
Mhm.
I was just a person who was
Shy?
I was shy, but I was
Mhm.
very picky about the people that I dealt with.
Okay. Is that what you say?
Yeah. And
Okay.
because and I realized that, but I could feel people's
No,
people's
but
energy.
you like your space,
Oh, I love
especially
my
because
space.
your
Yeah.
first marriage. I mean, you guys were like two ships in the night. One be there, another one be gone because they did another shift at work, and
Mm-hmm.
you, of course, would do another shift. And you
Yeah.
did it for a lot of
Yeah,
years from
but
that particular end.
there was that period of time that we were,
Mm-hmm.
available at the same time, but it was more than that.
Mm-hmm.
I have these like hobbies and things that I like to do that
Mm-hmm.
require time,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not hobbies and things that you share with somebody.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
and
yeah.
they are
And the kind of hobbies you have, people don't even sit down and even watch you do it.
no,
They
no.
left you. They
And
just what is she doing? I don't know.
yeah, because I mean like I'm
Give example. One of
okay,
them.
I'm a writer. You
Mm-hmm.
can't sit down around a lot of people
While you're
and write
writing, exactly.
because somebody will say something to you and
Mm-hmm.
it will mess up the flow of your
What's in your
imagination.
mind? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know, sewing. I can have somebody sitting there talking to me when I'm sewing,
Mm-hmm.
but not in a deep
Because
conversation.
you sew your finger up. You have clothes in your hand be
It's like,
stuck in it.
I don't know how I'm gonna wear this
Uh oh,
tomorrow.
is that a Vulcan mind trick?
Yeah. Live long and prosper.
Phosphorus. You know what's her name died not too long ago?
Yeah,
You remember
Nichelle
that from America
Nichols.
Later? Yes. Man,
Yeah.
I was in love with her. You her?
Yes.
Yeah, I only watched that because of the fact of her good looking short dress.
Forget-
I just wanted her to turn around so I can look. Like every time I watch the show, I'm like, yeah, come on, Captain Kirk, tell her something so she can turn around.
You dirty little boy.
Oh, I
Yeah.
watched the show just because of that. She was definitely the woman on at least on my mind.
Yes, I watched the show. I
Mhm.
could care less at that time
Mhm.
about science fiction.
Mhm.
It grew on me, and I really like it now. As a matter of fact, my first book was science fiction.
Okay.
But
Who
but-
does science fiction now? That's got a new movie coming out. What's her name? The black lady?
Octavia Butler.
Yes, she's
Yes.
got a show coming out.
Kindred.
Kindred. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yes,
Your book is almost similar to like that. I told you got it from. It's called what?
it's called my book,
Yes.
The Amani Guard.
Yeah, the book
Keepers
that
of
you wrote.
Peace.
Yeah, even though I've
Yeah.
never read it, I kind of went through it, but I haven't read it.
Yeah,
But I know it's off of Monty
Yeah.
God because I heard you talk about it. It
Yeah,
has that kind of
yeah.
flavor.
But see, I've
kind of
never
flow.
read Kindred. So
Well, I mean,
so-
but that was her flow.
yeah,
When she wrote about sci-fi, it wasn't all about robots, 1, 2, and 3
Mhm.
binary
yeah,
logic. It interweaved with people's life
Yeah.
and where they were socially, but still
Yeah.
had a sci-fi flair to it,
Yeah.
if you may
Yeah.
call it interweave. through
Yeah,
it.
I
And
read-
in your book has that.
Mhm.
See, I didn't even read it, but I'm right.
yeah. It does.
Yeah,
It
it
does.
does.
It's kind of.
Thank you. You're
it-
welcome.
Yeah, because it deals with the past
Mhm.
and everything. But I've
You just got to put a time machine in there, or a
There is
black
one.
hole, a black hole, so they can
Yeah.
warp through it once in
yeah,
a while.
no,
and go
it's
back and forth.
it's time travel. It has
Yeah, I
time
know,
travel. in
but
it.
you don't.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's I'm being
But-
no technical.
Yeah, but I've only read a few of
Mhm.
her books, and one of them that I remember
Mhm.
it was like an apocalyptic time,
Mhm.
and these kids they were trying to get away. They got
Mhm.
home, and
Don't get away. I think that's what Kendra is supposed to be.
that might be Kindred.
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
so,
So
but
don't
it
give
might
it a-
be.
No, I think that's what
We'll
it's supposed
see.
to be. So don't give it away. I
'Cause
think
I
it's
don't
coming
think-
on next week sometime. I don't know who's streaming it to at the
Mhm.
same time. I can't remember streaming it, but
I don't know,
supposed to
but
be
I'm
good.
definitely gonna watch it.
yeah. So back to the time in
Okay.
present now.
Yes.
That has to do with what we're talking about, compatibility.
Yes.
Giving each other space.
Right.
You know you like the space. That's what I
Oh
was
yeah.
trying to get to.
I
You know
I
you
do.
like
I
yours
do.
more than me.
Yes.
More than me.
yes.
In because at school every day, excuse me, you have so many lives kids being with you, taking up your space.
Yes.
I think there's a lot to do with why when you're away from that, you like your space. And you've
Mhm.
been doing it for a long,
Long time.
time.
Yes.
And for me, I'm not around too many people.
Mm-hmm.
And when I do, I'm mostly on the phone doing my negotiation for the nonprofit organization that we direct. And well, I mostly direct, but anyway,
Yeah.
my research I do on the internet.
Mhm.
So I don't directly, relate to a lot of people every day as much as you.
Right.
So one of the things I thrive for, is conversations when I'm
Mhm.
looking for, not all
Yes.
the time, but when I'm looking for conversation. And you're not always up to the peak to be able to satisfy
I'm
me.
not
in
that
that area of
conversational
conversation.
at all. And then the other thing too
Mhm.
is when you come home from from work and
Mhm.
all of your
You mean you?
stimulus, yeah, I mean you
Yeah.
in general,
Mhm.
the general term,
Mhm.
and all of your stimulus has been things that you know already,
Mhm.
and you are trying to have a conversation. You
Mhm.
can't talk about what went on at home at work because it's boring to you,
Mhm. Well, that's
and
not
it's
true.
nothing new.
That's not true because a lot of stuff that you talk to me at work, you've already talked about, is not boring. It's over. So that's not true. Some of the stuff, in fact, many of the stuff you do at work is very interesting, or something that in
Mhm.
turn we both talked about to create, like the diversity
Yeah.
club that you do.
Yes.
Okay, the multicultural class.
Mhm.
Okay, and even all the way down to that crazy lady by the name of Q that works with you. So we have a lot of conversation. Thank you, Q, if you're watching this show. I do not really mean it, but you are crazy. But thank you for the lasagna that you make for us. Yeah, that's
Oh
good.
gosh, she could make some lasagna.
Yeah, she certainly can. It was
Yes.
good lasagna too. Wow.
Yes.
Even though I'm lactose tolerant, I still love it anyway. But I'm just saying the respect I give each other space. I think also too, it's the respect for privacy and
Mhm.
spending time together is
Yeah.
important. Is
Yeah.
important. Indulging in your favorite hobbies is also important too. Even I guess when we were friends, I'm talking about your friendship side.
Mhm.
I have to admit, a lot of the friends that I connected with, the friendship stuff that did happen, it was a together kind of thing,
Mhm.
whether it was in sports, whether I was working on cars, whether I was working on things that had to do with electronics,
Mhm.
whether I was working on things that had to do with music that we put together, mixing and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. That just comes to my mind.
Mhm.
Then it was even when we went, even when I did the fishing thing, which many times people look at the fishing thing being by yourself,
Solitary.
I still fished with somebody.
Mhm.
Me and my friend, or me and my cousin, we would go fishing. So I'm used to doing a lot of things with somebody
Yes.
when it comes to relating in the world. And when I
Mhm.
did take sometimes by myself, which was few, but I did do it and enjoy it,
Mhm.
no doubt about it from that end. My preference, especially in a relationship, is to be able to share in that relationship with
Right.
someone else's
Right.
friend. I don't have much of a preference if we're in a relationship to in turn not really relate to that person
Mhm.
and make that a secondary thing that we do. And that's okay. I'm just not comfortable with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I would much rather have time set aside where we know in advance that
Mm,
this is our time apart,
mhm,
so that we can just kind of flow into whatever we're going to do together. Because I have a tendency, because I know I can get so involved and so engrossed in my hobbies and the
mhm,
things that I enjoy doing, especially when it comes to writing. I
mhm,
can write. I have been known to write for 7 hours without stopping.
mhm,
Um, I have been known to, when my children were little,
mhm.
I would be sewing, working on a project, and they would have to come and tell me, "Are we having lunch today?" Because
You a bad mother.
I was a very bad mother. I
I
was a
think your daughter.
horrible
I
mother.
think your daughter said that one time when we saw her at
Yes, I
DC's.
was
You
a
were thinking
horrible mother.
she, and yet at the same time, you could tell that she spends a lot of time in her art, and
Exactly.
they like waiting on her, including the husband. He probably got to do something,
Yeah.
but you could tell she's doing a replication of
Yeah.
what you
Yeah.
did in life.
And see, and I was always there.
Mhm,
I was always there. They would be outside playing, and I would,
mhm,
I would check on them from time to time.
mhm,
But there were times when I would get stuck because I was making
mhm,
formal wear and wedding dresses, and it takes a
mhm,
lot.
mhm.
And 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 I would get caught up in something, getting something to work or whatnot, and 2 hours would pass, and she would come. Are we having lunch today?
What is lunch? Hey,
It's like, no.
hold for a second. We're going to go on and talk a little bit more about this, but we got to do a commercial so we can
Yes.
pay some bills. So, hey, we'll be right back. We got two of them back to back. Just watch and see. think I cut the commercial off a little bit too early. That's because I was trying to, hey, just kind of be patient and bear with us. I was trying to take off that little ticker that was going on the bottom that had
Yeah.
to do with our hot
Hot
button. I'm like, hey,
buttons.
that's not a good time for that ticker to go through there.
No.
But hey, didn't you like the commercials? We like the commercials.
I
They're
like
well
the
put
commercial.
together.
Yes.
I'm going to talk to whoever did that commercial. Put a commercial together for
I was
taking
gonna-
the journey
I was
together.
going to say, I want one for us.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. Hey, you can also find us at Taking the Journey, as you can see on Facebook too. Taking the Journey, also on Instagram. We'd
Mhm.
love to have you go to our Facebook site and also a regular website, as you can see up there. Or you can always email us and email us your questions and your concerns, and we can talk to you more about it. I think we also have a radio show in there someplace.
Yes, I think we do.
Where's that at? Is that's not it? Is it? Where's the radio show?
It's around
Oh, there
there
it is.
someplace.
There's a radio show. Tell us
Yes.
about it.
I know that's Unity in the Community. on
Oh,
River
that's
Street.
a River Street. We don't want to talk about that right now. But
There
here's
it
a radio
is.
show.
Yes, every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 Eastern Standard Time. We are on WRUU
Mhm.
107.5, and we are taking the journey together there also. We're also talking about compatibility,
Mm-hmm.
not at the same point in both of those because of hurricanes and things of that sort,
Mm-hmm.
but we are at a point where you can still learn and find out different things. And even if we were in the same place, we kind of vibe with where we are in that moment. And so when we do like compatibility for on this one, if we were doing compatibility for on the radio, it would be something
Just say
different
it's like
also.
a diamond. There's so many different facets to the diamond.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I
that's what we
love
do. We
that.
send them a lot of jewelry, high price jewelry
Yes.
information.
We're,
Okay.
we're priceless.
Yeah, well, I think the information that we give is
It
priceless,
definitely
no
is.
doubt about
It
it.
definitely
Okay,
is.
so where were we before?
We were talking about me being a horrible mother.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember your daughter said that. I'm like, wow. And good thing
No.
you're a more calmer sister, because some others would have slapped her.
Well-
You call me a horrible mother.
You know, I feel like everybody has their perceptions of
Perception.
everything, but then at the same time, while she say things like that,
Mhm. I see that bothered you.
no, it was,
I mean, my kids don't see me. They would probably say to a lot of people, he was a horrible father. I think that's what they would say,
Yeah.
because they don't see me yet. My son just no more than on Facebook said not too long ago, you was a good father. You taught us how to, work and be on our own. I'm like, yeah, I guess I taught you too well, because you're on your own and you don't say nothing to your dad whatsoever. On his birthday, on Father's Day, you don't come and visit even. So I taught you guys way too well. Yeah, some fathers say that's good. You don't have to worry about giving them no money.
right.
You don't have to worry about them coming around and trying to mess in your house and your life. I'm all about balance.
Yeah.
I'm all about balance. Yeah.
But the only thing that bothered me about that statement that she made was when she said I didn't cook dinner often, and I'm like, whoa, hold on, I cooked every single.
Is that
night.
all that stopped you with that? Dinner?
Yeah, because it was, the rest of it. She was pretty true on the rest. I mean, I was not a horrible parent. I was there for them. I went to all their things. I was the
chief cook and bottle washer.
Oh yeah, pretty much. I went to all of their
Soccer
events.
Van lady, what do they call it?
Yeah, the soccer mom.
Soccer mom.
Although
you drove a van. No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you actually had a van.
I did.
I could match you in a van. I could see you on the side waving like this. Hey, there's that van lady.
Yeah. I would take her basketball team play, to round them up and take them. I would have a van load of track team people for my son, and it was just it was me. I would jump in the car and drive to wherever they needed.
Did you wear baseball caps on backwards and stuff?
No.
Did your son do that?
No.
He's too strange to do that.
He was running track, so it was a whole.
He's still
different type
geeky.
of
He would do something like that. Anyway.
And so was I. I was that. No. I never did the baseball cap on backward. That was kind of. That was so not me. And besides, I always had that ponytail thing that needed to go someplace, or the hair was all over. It was the baseball.
So you basically could enjoy yourself even without me. In other words, when yourself, you can enjoy yourself without me, right?
For
to enjoy some time.
Yeah.
without your partner, right?
For a while. Yes. Yes. I could,
Mm-hmm.
because it's one of those things that um I have so many other things that I can get lost in, but they are temporary fixes. Even
I'm
if I
sad
get
already.
even if I get
Do you
lost
feel
in
the
them.
energy just kind of lost? I felt sad already.
But you're not
Oh
listening
my
to me.
goodness, I feel sad
But
already.
there's no replacement for you.
Oh, you're just, you know, just throwing me away like trash.
I would never do that.
And you basically said you could be to yourself. I could be in the next room, and you wouldn't say something. Or we can be in the same room, and you still don't say anything. We have an
Okay.
office where we're facing each other. You could be on the other side and don't say one damn thing. We're in there for a couple of hours until I say something and look up and you go, "What?" Yeah, you
I'm
definitely do
I
that.
am so guilty of that.
Yeah,
I get
yes, you
lost,
are.
and that's one of the problems that I've always had. I
Uh,
get lost in my head.
yeah, lost in yourself. Yeah, no
Yeah.
doubt about it.
Yeah, I have all these different thoughts and
Hmm.
things. And I don't know
Hmm.
if some of it has to do with my creativity.
Hmm.
I know I didn't do
So
it.
anybody else's creativity that doesn't do that, something wrong with it. Oh, they just can't be creative, do they?
No, I think
Just you.
I'm not saying that other people don't do it.
Hmm.
I'm just explaining me, because I really haven't talked to anybody
Hmm.
deep enough about it to find out.
Well, you talk to me sometimes when I try to tell you about it, but you must too much keeping it to yourself.
No, what I'm saying is I've never talked to somebody who has experienced that.
Mm.
Where they just have so many things going on in their
Oh,
head
many
that they're.
people do. Tiffany, and who we talked to, that's up
I
in
know.
Atlanta, whose
Yeah.
husband looked at her and thought she was a horse frolicking in another field, and that's why he picked her. Remember, we had her on a show years ago
Yes.
as a host from Atlanta on a show. Yeah,
Yeah.
and she's always has thoughts running in
Yeah.
her head all the
Yeah.
time. Has a hard time,
Mhm.
slowing down unless she gets some wine in there and kind of,
Yeah.
chills her out a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I recognize that,
Mm-hmm.
especially now. And I'm always designing something
Mm-hmm.
in my mind, whether
Um,
it actually comes to fruition or not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I've been working on some quilt ideas in my
Okay.
mind. I'm like,
So,
why?
so let me ask you something. Do you think I don't have anything in my mind? You think I'm one of
Are
empty
you
head kind of person?
kidding? You
Like a male. We
okay? But see,
just here. We ain't got nothing
no,
on our mind.
no. Here's the thing: you have a lot on your mind,
Mm-hmm.
but you spit it out.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah,
I
you.
believe in sharing
Yeah,
and
yeah.
getting out to the
You
world
spit
and
it out, and
speaking truth to power.
and
It's kind of
sometimes,
like me. Yeah.
yeah, and sometimes the stuff that you're spitting out,
Mm-hmm.
it's like,
Where we
you
head
know,
sometimes.
yes. And
Mhm.
so I'm just busy trying to keep up.
So,
So
I was going to say on that particular note that space that we're referring to, it still allows those in that relationship to understand that part called interdependence.
yeah, yeah.
Because though we were individuals before, and we
Mhm.
still were coming in a relationship,
Yeah.
and we did most of the things, except for 30 years you were with another man and 30 years I was with another woman from that
That was
particular.
6.
Well, we'll put it all together.
Yeah.
16 and
Yeah.
mine, I don't know, 8 something.
I
No, I thought you was 30.
I was.
Okay, I'm 16. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So anyway, from that particular, without losing my thought, then we learned that interdependence is something that you do together that you can't do what? By
By
yourself.
yourself.
So you don't know about how to work together to see something build or can be built
Mm.
if you still are not understanding or being used to did what? Doing things by yourself.
Exactly.
Really?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's kind of like the equation that I learned in science
Mhm.
called the equation of the power of synchronicity. Okay,
Mhm.
I think that's what it was called. And the power of synchronicity had something to do with if you add 1 + 1 under that energy mass field, you get not just 2, you get 3 and more.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So that means if your individual creativity is not being cultured, nurtured, and you, how can I say it, being the one behind it,
Mhm.
then when you do relate to someone else in a relationship, you ain't got much to give.
Right.
You're going to be
Right.
drawing mostly off of them. How then does that power of synchronicity going to operate when you don't have that much energy to add to the equation, when both of you or both of us are trying to share on a
Mhm.
project to build a project through interconnectivity.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. It's
No.
going to be mostly me doing it.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Not you. So it's definitely, or mostly you. Okay.
Mhm.
Be both of anyway. The point is, the time that you get to yourself to build yourself up, to
Mhm.
expand on
Yes.
yourself, means you have more to bring to the table in a relationship
Mhm.
when you're working on projects,
Yeah.
when you're working on events, or you're just being to hang out together and you're trying to enjoy yourself
Yeah.
and take the eventual life. I think that's an important thing that we don't necessarily look at and understand when it comes to that space for one another,
Yeah.
why it's important.
I agree. I agree because if you are all about you and not the other person, that's really self-centered.
Oh, we got some
And
questions. Go ahead.
oh, okay, and
Go ahead.
dysfunctional.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. Hey, someone said sexy fine pro. Fine. Oh man, we got a dating site. We can't do that. Shame, 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 shame on you. Someone's pushing their own
dating
advertisement on our show, a dating site. Unless we see the dating site, unless we know some people on the dating site, unless we find out what the dating site is all about, we can't do
Yeah,
that. Shame
no,
on you.
you would need to contact us and have a
Exactly.
conversation so that we can see if there's any compatibility between your dating site and what we're
Or
doing.
what we're trying to do, or
Yeah.
any, in this case, credibility in the 1st
Mhm.
place. But hey, definitely, if there's other sites out there who are trying to put people together, especially using friendship,
Mhm.
things like that, we love to know more about it. You can
Yes.
always send the information to us. Where is that? Where did I have that at? Come to think, right here. Excuse me, there is our information,
Mhm.
our email address. You can send it to us. You can post us on Facebook, and we'll take a look at it. And maybe we will, in turn, make sure we bring that up during our show.
Yes.
We love to have you become as a sponsor, no doubt about it, because we need a sponsor on the show.
Mhm.
We need a sponsor to make sure that we keep on expanding. Now that we are on Roku.
Yes.
By the way, if you want to go to Roku, your Roku that's on your television, you go to your platform
or your phone.
on your phone, you go to your platform and you search for a channel called what?
Our Black Media.
Yes, search for that channel called All Black Media, Our Black Media. Go ahead and upload it or download it onto your Roku platform or
Mhm.
dashboard or whatever you may
Yes.
want to call it, and start watching our show. Our show is under what?
It's under community.
Yes, under the
The heading of the
community. No,
of
it's not heading. What do
community.
you call it?
I don't know what you would call
Oh,
it.
you
but
had the
that's what
right
I
name,
call it.
Martin. I guess called a heading, but it really wasn't a line or something like that.
The
Anyway,
category.
yeah, I guess called a category
Okay.
under
Yeah.
under community,
Yes.
and you'll find us there. We're going to pretty soon be going live there. Right now they're doing a backlog of our shows, so they're not all our current shows, but there's some of our backlog shows. But take a look, you enjoy it. You get to see us on the I don't know why it said muted, but we're not. But anyway, you get to see us on the moving on up.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Thank you, Julius.
Yes, thank you, Julius, and those are all that are involved with it. So compatibility, we just talked about each other's space. I
Yes.
think that's important.
Yes.
From that end, and now we're talking about the high level of trust. Ooh,
That's a hard one.
that's a hard one in a relationship when it comes to trust, especially when
Yes.
there's a whole lot of hanky panky going on, and a
Uh-huh.
whole lot of
Yes.
got that girl on my side, got that man over in my corner, and nobody knowing anything
Mhm.
about it because
Yeah.
they're not being transparent about it.
Right.
Then
Right.
of course we know poly's being built right now, and of course poly itself, when it's more than one, it definitely tries to use the hot principle,
Mhm.
and is going to try to make sure trust being open is always there, because trust
Yeah.
is all about being open in your relationship and allowing people to make decisions,
Mhm.
good or bad, right or wrong,
Yeah.
in that relationship. But let's talk a little bit about trust and how do you build that as for part of that compatibility piece that's important.
Yeah. Well, one of the things, you have to be hot.
Yes.
You have to say what you're going to do and do what you say you're going to do.
Mhm.
That didn't make sense, but I knew what I was trying to say. It just didn't come out right.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
what I'm trying to say is, if you say I'll be home at 6, you need to be home at 6, unless you call and say, hey, look, I got tied up, or I'm
Mhm.
stuck in traffic, or something like
Or
that.
it's CP time. It's an
Yeah,
hour after.
it's like, you know what? I'm coming.
A lot of folks don't know what CP time is. That's color people time. We have a Hawaiian friend.
Yeah.
And what did she say about that?
They don't call it CP time, they call it island time.
Exactly. And theirs is about an hour too. It
Yes.
looked like we all got kin folks, that some of our kin folks or necessary our skin,
Yeah,
folks.
exactly. So that's our connection right there.
I know it. I
So,
thought that was funny. So it's a high level of trust that deepens your bond.
mhm,
Okay, that's what
yeah,
think trust does, and it is definitely about during hardships when that trust is
mhm,
built,
yeah,
being high, that it connects you together during those
yeah,
hardships. It gives you that ability to be able to withstand the pressures of social norms that are out there. Like right now, the social norm is all about being what? What's the ditch crowd? Dish crowd? What's it called again? I'm sorry.
the what crowd?
Cancel. Remember I told you
Oh,
before. Yeah,
cancel
you know
culture.
the cancel culture. Young folks in your school talk about that all the time. What's the cancel culture
Uh,
for some of us old folks out here that don't know what
Cancel
it is?
culture. It really
I don't want to look it up.
is the biggest thing is in with the celebrities and things like that
Mm,
when they say something that people don't like, or
mm,
they offend a certain ethnicity or gender specific group or whatever. Then they're, what we used to call it was blackballed, or
mm,
something like that, ousted.
mm,
So they don't follow them on social media anymore.
mm,
They don't buy their music or whatever. They,
mm.
they act like they just they do not exist. They're shut out.
Yeah.
And so that's basically cancel culture.
Yeah, that has, how can I, it's so not, what's the word, not trivia, what's the word that starts with T when it's so stupid and shallow as could be? Trivial.
Trivial.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
trivial that it could be of, I don't feel that this color is that important in life
Mhm.
that you should wear. I'm
Yeah.
not the color of the skin because that's a little bit more
Yeah.
deeper, and that still exists, by the
Mhm.
way. But I'm just talking about could be that simple,
Right.
that trivial, and someone would say, yeah, if you feel and think that same way, I'm not even going to talk to you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
I,
I'm not going to talk to you.
mhm.
I'm not going to be a friend to you. I'm going to act like you don't really exist or are a common normal human being.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how.
Exactly.
Am I right? That's how
Excuse me. Mhm.
stupid it can be.
Yeah, and it's a sign of the times when you take into consideration that we're also talking about the microwave generation.
Mm,
Anything that doesn't work, get rid of it.
yeah.
And if it doesn't work for me right now, I don't want to have anything else to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it has extended to people and their beliefs and
Like,
the way
oh
they
wow, like
carry
throwaway
themselves.
items.
Yeah.
I never thought about
Yeah.
that. Being like throwaway items.
Hmm.
Yeah. You don't work the way I want you to work. Boom, just
Exactly.
get rid
You
of
don't say what I want you to say.
you.
I
Get
don't have
rid of
anything
you.
to do with you anymore.
Yeah.
You don't exist for me. And that's the other thing that I don't get is people saying you don't exist for me anymore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
I still exist. You still, we've had this relationship, or
Mm-hmm.
whether it's friendship or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
How do I no longer exist just because things aren't working for you? I still
They roll
exist,
the eyes
and
at
you're
you, turn your
still,
head.
yeah,
You're around, they don't say nothing unless you
exactly.
just give them a good slap. And then, do I exist now?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
It's like, hey, 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 hey,
Oh man, how about this? If you slap them once, they go, "I didn't." Well, turn your other cheek then. Wow, but yeah, that I mean, I just it's just absolutely seemed to be insane and how people take it that high.
Mhm.
At least in my day, I was older, and I have to admit, I come from the streets too at the same time. And I come from out of welfare and all that other bad, but sometimes good loving stuff because
Yeah.
I couldn't really tell how my mom brought me up, though she was very insane and very, very, very strong willed, no doubt about it. For me, that if you want to, compare it to cancel culture, it would be if somebody wants to kick my ass, then then it rise to the occasion of
Mhm.
cancel. If someone wants to try to stab me or shoot me, then it raised to the
Yeah.
level of this person's really trying to cancel me.
Yeah, exactly.
I better get
Exactly.
prepared to deal with this,
Mhm.
or I'm skedaddling. I'm making it in such a way where I don't mess with them anymore.
Exactly.
But this thing in the mind, I hit my mic. You mean the old thing, sticks and stones, what?
Break my bones, but sticks and stones may break my bones, but
Mhm.
words will never hurt
It
me.
ain't that way anymore.
No, it isn't.
No,
It
no,
isn't.
not at all.
And that's it's really, really strange. But
Mhm.
and the problem is they're canceling these people that they
Mhm.
don't even have relationships of trust with.
In the first place.
Yeah. You know, that makes no sense, you know,
You
to me.
didn't build,
Yeah.
you didn't deserve, you never put the time in whatsoever, but yet you're going to counsel them at the
They
rate,
don't
at the
even know
energy,
your
as
name.
exactly at that rate as if you
Yeah.
did do any
You're
of that.
agreeing to cancel because somebody who does know them was offended, but you don't know any of them that way.
Yeah.
You know, but when you're in a relationship,
And that happens.
yes, you do know that person, but instead of canceling them, you got to work on that trust factor.
But that does happen in a relationship.
Oh,
That's my
yeah.
point.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we're getting down to our time too. And you know, we have so many other stuff to talk about, which we'll come back and talk about again when it comes to our next particular show. So be prepared for our next Thursday. We'll get some more about this compatibility.
Mhm.
But in the relationship, that kind of thing happens.
Yeah,
Where I stop talking to you.
exactly.
I won't say anything to
For
you.
days.
And you'll be right in the
Yes.
no, we don't do this now. You know,
No.
you know me. I'm gonna say something from that particular. And if it does happen, I just gave you the kiss of Italian death.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to talk
And-
to you. I don't want to see. I don't want to be in this relationship no more. But I've seen some
Yeah, and
relationships like that.
I can't hold a grudge long enough.
No, you can't.
to-
Usually the next day you're like, "Hello."
Yeah,
I'm like, did another wind-up toy wake up this morning?
I
Didn't forget the argument or the uncomfortable we had last night. And she's up. Hello, how you doing? I'm okay.
Good
It's crazy.
morning.
Exactly.
I really have that day clean attitude.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
But you forgot to clean it from last night, so it could be really clean in the morning.
Exactly. Yeah. I
Or
didn't-
really show the clean one. But
Yeah.
the point is, we see relationships where truly they have iced each other out. They have
Yes.
canceled each other
Yes.
out. Can you imagine how the children feel when they're like, look at that mom and dad walking around like zombies, but
Mhm.
they don't talk to one another?
And then
They
some
don't
of them
connect with one another?
pull the kids into it saying, "Tell your father that I said this."
know.
No, you tell your mother that I said.
Wow, that's trippy.
And what are the kids supposed to get from that?
Mm-hmm,
You know, and why are you in a relationship with somebody that you can't trust?
mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, if here's a question. If you ask yourself,
Self.
if I were sick, could I count on this person to be there to help me out, even if it meant just pulling, you know, a sliver from my big toe? Could I count on this person to be there for me? If your answer is no, you don't have any trust right there anyway, because you have to trust that person to be there, that you can count on that person.
Mm-hmm.
And you should not be in a relationship that you cannot, with somebody you cannot trust when the chips are down.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are in relationships. I mean, that's
Yeah, but
that
you
that that,
shouldn't.
that's the extreme that we're referring to. Is there a lot?
Yeah.
That's in a lot of survival relationships.
Yes.
There's no doubt about it.
True.
In a balanced relationship, thriving relationship, it is not a consistent thing. No doubt about it.
Mhm.
The balance means there are some times where that extreme could be there.
Mhm.
It could be job you lost. It could be I lost my mom.
Yeah.
It could be I lost my freaking mind because of the fact that something inside me is messing
Mhm.
with you.
Yeah.
I mean, anything like that happen. And during that particular cycle, that time, you may not get a conversation out of the person.
Right.
You may not get any kind of real communication, body language, and so on and so forth connected to it. And if that happens, that kind of stream happens, wow, you gonna throw the baby out in the bathwater? Is that what you're trying to say?
No.
Trust faltered there. Trust somehow went away. Don't you want to look at what was happening, the
Definitely.
pattern before,
Oh, you have
and
to.
then say, well, this person's
You
been
have to.
trustworthy to me. They've showed trust to me. Something got to be going on wrong. I'm not just going to boot them out the door.
Exactly. But
I'm just saying.
that's in a more balanced relationship.
Yeah.
And that is the thing. It's like, you know, if you, as we were talking about having space,
Mm-hmm.
you know, if you are at a point where you just need some space, you're not going to just get up and walk away.
Mm-hmm.
You have to tell your partner, whoever you're in a relationship with, look, babe, I need some space. I just need some time to myself for a few minutes. I'm going to take a drive and I'll be back. And feel free to call that person. We all have cell phones now. Feel free to call that person when you get
but
to.
that doesn't happen much.
Yeah.
No. Even in our relationship, sometimes when we hit those kind of walls, that doesn't happen a lot. We don't give each other that kind of space, and not necessarily whatsoever use that bridge statement. That's a bridge statement, as we talked about before, to bridge doing those kind of moments. That are
Exactly.
important.
I agree with you 100%. But the point that I was making was that if you don't do something like that and you just disappear, you're going to end up with a lack of trust.
Okay. Last word from you. Enjoy it. Thank you very much, everybody. Until next Thursday at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard
Yes,
Time.
6 o'clock.
Engineer, it's time for you to do your thing. Are you there to shut our show down?
Or do we do it?
Or do we do it? I don't know. He
Well,
must be gone. I guess we better.
We are.
Like this. 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 Like this.